It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Dick, dick, dick. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Toyota. We also have Denny Hamlin with us, driver of the number 11 FedEx Toyota. We'll go ahead and take both them at the same time. Kyle, if you just want to open up and give us an overview on your thoughts on this weekend.
Well, tomorrow's going to be busy now, a little bit more than it was supposed to be, but we can handle that, and that won't be a problem. So no big deal. But coming into the Speedway last night, the new scoreboard and everything looked pretty sweet, so that's cool. And did some nice improvements in here for you guys, so that's always nice to have a good media center. But other than that, just ready to get going and get back on the racetrack and seeing what we have here.
All right, Denny, you are the most recent winner at this track. What do you think your chances are at sweeping the races here at Martinsville?
We always come here. We always race really competitive. It's about like Richmond for us. We know we can run top 5. It's just whether we're in the right situation with the right adjustments at the end of the race and whether we can win the race or not. So. It's a track we love to come to. It's a track we feel like we can gain some points, try to get back in the top 10, and that's our goal right now.
All right, we'll open up to questions. We'll start here with Monty and then David.
Denny, Monty Dutton, Jackson Gazette. You have actually come here, and a lot of guys now, you ask about qualifying, and they're in the field, so it's cool. But you've been here and did very well with the independent team, made the field. Jeff Gordon mentioned earlier that you can't do anything about the rain, but he would like to see a short session for those who aren't already in the field, and that would be the improvement he would suggest. And I got one more question, too.
Do I think
ask the other one, too.
Do I think it'll be that would be a good idea?
You think that would work well?
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, there's a lot of money, regardless of whether you're an outside the top 35 team or not. There's still a lot of effort and money that get put into trying to make these races, even for an independent team. You have one-time sponsors, sometimes just one-time drivers that try to make certain races, and for them to have a washout to where they don't have an opportunity to even try to make the race, it makes it tough. So I would definitely agree and like to see maybe, if nothing, squeeze in a small qualifying session just for those guys. Now, some people say, then it'd be an advantage to be on the track when other guys aren't. Maybe do it, close to or near practice time, to where we know we're going to practice tomorrow. So their penalty is maybe they miss the first 30 minutes, 15 minutes of practice. Because they got to switch back over to race room if they do make the race. So I think there's enough time to squeeze it in regardless.
And the other question is about qualifying in general. I think a lot of people would say that this place is the place where qualifying is most important because of track condition. And I think many people would say that Talladega is where it's least important. By the way, this is either one of you. Least important because if you just look at the results, the pole sitter there frequently doesn't fare well. People in the top 10. It's almost like the field's upside down. What makes a place where qualifying, is it just pure difficulty to pass? Is that what makes the difference between how important qualifying is?
Yeah, it's all difficulty of passing, and this is the toughest to pass, especially, you've got to be so superior over the car in front of you unless he makes a mistake to make a pass cleanly. You could do it by roughing the guy up, but cleanly you got to have a lot better car. You got to have a car that's probably at least 2/10 faster than the guy in front of you to do that. So that's what makes it so tough. I started in the back here before, and it's taken all race, and I felt like I had the best car. I had to qualify dead last because I made a bad mistake in qualifying, and it took 500 laps to get to the top 5, and that was with a really good car. So it's just it's tough here.
Kyle?
Yeah, I think the same thing. This track is a track where there's one groove, and later in the race where it rubbers up and gets a little bit different, you can use that second groove, but only on a restart for a lap or two. It's just, in the racetrack said it's hard to pass on. It's just about that second groove, and Loudon's another one that's sort of difficult to pass on. This one here at Martinsville, Phoenix isn't too bad, but it's still another sort of difficult racetrack to try to pass on. So
How about road courses?
road courses, I mean,
Track position there.
yeah, I mean, track position's a lot there. You know, I fell back a little bit at Watkins Glen at the start, and then, you know, we passed a couple cars, but mainly we gained everything back in track position off pit road, so, and having a good pit crew, and that's how I gained everything at Sonoma. So, I mean, I could pass a few guys, but I'm sure when it got to the front, it was going to be harder to do.
Dave?
Yeah, this is for Kyle. Kyle, people have been saying all year this has been one of the greatest seasons in NASCAR history, but now with what's happened in the chase, they aren't talking about that as much. How do you think it will be remembered because of what's happened here in the chase?
I don't think really a whole lot of people's seasons get remembered for just being seasons. I think the champions season is how it's all remembered. So, you know, that doesn't bother me. It is what it is. We had a difficult start to the chase, and you know, it happened. So, unfortunately for us, we've had a great regular season, and just wasn't able to capitalize on a great end of this year and a great chase season to be able to win a championship.
Do you think it's fair, though, to compare this to other collapses? Because, I mean, you lost most of your lead when the points were reset, so you'd still be, I guess, in contention if that was the old point system. Do you feel it's fair to call this a collapse, or how would you characterize it?
I think the word collapse would probably be more that it was, I would say that it was if it was my fault. I collapsed or I fell over or did something or whatever, but it's not, it's just unfortunate, you know. I mean, I don't know what the word would be, how you want your title to look on your paper, but, you know, collapse isn't quite the word. It's all about we've had a great year, and unfortunately some circumstances took us out of the running here in the chase, and nothing to anybody's doing. You know, you have a parts malfunction, and then you have a motor problem, and then you have a sputtering, which we still haven't ever figured out, and you get caught up just barely in a wreck at Talladega, and then I get caught speeding on pit road at Charlotte. So every single race we've had something go wrong, and you know, it's just hadn't been our year.